Hey y'all, I don't know. This thing, I'm telling you, really gonna have to get back into this thing and figure out exactly what's going on. As I've said a couple times now, Facebook made some changes and I don't know what's going on, but they're not communicating. The two platforms are not communicating. So I'm gonna have to do some research into that. As I was saying, I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank everybody for taking time out of your schedule. Also, I would like to just say that, with everything that's going on, it looks like that maybe Joe may be back tomorrow, I hope. Um, you know, I know you guys love me, but I know you love both of us presenting together. Hey, Joe, love you, man. Um, Three times is a charm. Yes, Bethany, I know. I'm going to have to figure this thing out, really. I don't know what's happened. But at any rate, so Joe is joining us. He's actually traveling. He's on his way back home. And let's see if we can get him on video.
Hey.
Hey, buddy.
Sorry.
How are you?
Good, good. Check this out. I'm going to show you something. Like that jacket?
Yeah, I love that. That's nice.
Like that? Okay. I didn't realize what time it was, man. I'm sorry.
Looks good, bro. Looks good.
I'm here from Florida. Gotta get me a linen suit.
So I was liking that you were headed home. I was telling everybody you were on your way home and that you'd be joining us back tomorrow. And hopefully we'll have this Facebook thing figured out. I mean, it's still doing stupid stuff. I don't know what the problem is.
Right. Man, and I'll be on the presentation. I'll be on the presentation.
Sweet.
Wait. It's my time 8, your time 9, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. I'm not stealing this. Hold on. I almost walked out of the store with somebody their coat on. Sorry.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
All right. Cool.
All right.
I probably better get off here. They're going to arrest me for a second for trying to steal this jacket.
It's all right.
I just
Thanks for popping on, bro.
With a coat on. Right on. Hey, everybody, have a good time. Hey, man, thanks for all the thing. Everything's good up here. Just keep trucking on. But I just want to let you all know for that 5+ commitment challenge. I'm 7 already. So I don't know what y'all been doing.
Sweet. You go, brother.
I'll tell. Yeah. But I'll talk to y'all tonight, okay?
All right, brother. Thank you.
But I'm gonna get off here before I get here.
All right. Be careful. So, today's topic of conversation is going to be partially about talking to other folks, and introducing your business. So, I had some people reach out and say, could you talk about that a little bit more? Could you give me a little bit more information? Sure. So if you've been with us over the days in past, you know that we've been talking a lot about introducing your business, showing people what you have to offer, is not throwing up all over everyone, being that person that actually allows others to be inquisitive, right? So after that particular conversation was had, I got several people that got back to me and said, hey, I'd like to hear more about that. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that this morning. And so, or this afternoon, I should say. So basically what I'm talking about is when you go to talk to someone new, whether you know them or not, about your business, you should never lead with anything like, man, have I got the thing for you? Or, oh my God, you just have to see this. Those are probably two of the worst openings that you could come off with. And the reason for that is because most people's defenses go up. And so they just put a wall between you and them. So what you would probably be better off with, and what works a lot better, and I'm going to use the business that I'm currently working with, hopefully my retirement business, I believe it is. and I'm pretty sure that it will be. But I'm going to use the business that I'm working with just as an example. And what I would like for you guys and gals to do, if you're not in the same business, is just plug your business in where I plug my business in. Okay. So for me, it goes a little something like this. I'm talking to someone, casual conversation. Maybe I'm in, I don't know, World Market or something. And we're both looking at the same produce or whatever, and we strike up a conversation, because that's the kind of person that I am. If you get in my personal space, expect for me to speak to you. That's just kind of how it works. And so I kind of extend my personal space a little bit. So just about everybody gets in my personal space. So, after some idle chit chat, these look like really good melons. What do you think? I haven't bought any here before, blah, 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 blah. So I've broken down the barrier with that person, right? This is somebody I have no clue. I've never talked to in my life, never seen them. We've bonded over the melon, right? So now what I might do is just say, well, what are you buying the melons for? Are you going to take them to work? Hey, Brad, thanks for coming. Are you going to take them to work, or are you buying them for your kids? What's the melon for? And so they're going to tell me about their life, right? Because I've just opened the door. And so they're going to tell me all about how they hate their job, and they are definitely not taking them to work, and they got 6 kids and they never get any time away from the kids, and blah, 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 blah. And you're going to hear all this stuff, right? But it's good information. It's really good information, because now out of that conversation, I just learned that they do not like their job. I learned that they are a family-oriented person who really loves their kids, but what they're saying is they would like to be able to have a break, or maybe a vacation from their kids, okay, or with their kids even, right? Like just breaking the monotony of the same thing over and over and over every day. So I've learned some stuff, and so then I might just say, well, have you ever heard of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency? Because that's what I work in, right? And they might look at me kind of funny. And by this point, we've got a rapport. So they're not going to put a wall up now, right? Like they're not going to go, oh, get away from me. They're going to probably say something like, well, I know somebody that was doing that, or I know somebody that was talking to me about that one time or something. They'll say something, okay? And so you're going to go back to that conversation. You're going to ask them when was the last time they got a break, took a vacation, blah, 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 blah. Notice you're not going to jump right into that Bitcoin conversation. And then you're going to work your way back around to it after a couple more questions and answer sessions. And you're going to say, are you interested in learning about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency? Because if you are, I could give you some information, right? So these role-playing ideas are really great. Now, that person's either going to say yes or no. Now, I was out at the store. We said we were at World Market. So I was out at the store in World Market buying produce. So I was doing something that I needed to do already, right? It just so happened that someone got in my space, and I took advantage of that, and I exposed my business, okay? Why is it important that I expose my business? Well, it's a numbers game, all right? So a lot of people are saying, well, my business is not growing fast enough. My business is not growing fast enough. So my question becomes, what are you doing for your business, right? How many people are you exposing to your business on a daily basis, right? How many of those people that you actually expose and get information from you are you following up with? Money's in the follow-up. Trust and believe. The money's in the follow-up. Because you could give somebody information and they can get all excited, and then they not hear back from you, and they throw it right to the side and forget all about it. Yeah, sure. So, if your business, whatever your business is not growing fast enough for you, then what you need to do is expose more people to your business. Okay. So what does that look like? Well, the average person, when they get good at exposure, okay, and it takes some time to get good. It takes some practice. Okay. So don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. All right. But just keep a pad and a pen and just put a mark, so you can keep up with how many exposures you're running, right? So for every 100 exposures, you're probably going to get somewhere between 7 and 10 responses. Okay. Out of that 7 to 10 responses, you're probably going to sign up in your business probably five or six maybe. Okay. And out of those 5 or 6, you're probably going to get one person that really does something, and by something, I mean, maybe they're going to put a couple people in their business. They're going to, they're going to activate themselves. They're going to get some things going. They're going to enjoy what they're doing. Right. So, all right. So we know that 100 is going to yield somewhere between 7 and 10 in your practice mode. And out of that 7 to 10, you're looking at 5 to 6 signups. Now, as you get better, you should be able to expect to hover around that 10 number, and all 10 of those people will actually activate and come on board with your business, right? All right. So now, once they've done that, how do you keep your people happy? How do you keep your team activated and engaged and happy about what they're doing? Well, the first thing you do is you look for how to get that person their ROI back, okay? So with my particular business, we have a $300 plan, okay? And that plan for $300 allows you to become a promoter with the company and get paid for referrals, okay? And every referral that you give out and that activates with you is a $100 commission, okay? So basically what you're looking at is exposing 3 people to your business that activate their own business center, and yours is now free. You've gotten your ROI, okay? So why is that important? It's important because if you can show people how to get what they want for nothing, then they're going to get excited, and they're going to get really, really excited about being involved with mentorship, being involved with a company that allows them to do it for nothing, first of all, right? And then secondly, it allows them to actually share with other people and show them how they can get their education for free, because that's all the company that I'm with does, is educate people, right? Now, we've got some other things that are coming around the way, and people whisper, and you've probably heard things. And that's separate, okay? That's completely voluntary. What Cryptogenics is an education company. That's what we do. We educate people on cryptocurrency, ICOs, blockchain, wallets, Bitcoin, Satoshis, all of those things that most people don't know what they are, okay? So, the power behind being able to help someone get it for free is huge. And I guarantee you, if you help your people do that, you're going to make friends for life, okay? Because the person that you help do that is going to say, hey, no one has ever helped me get my ROI back before. Well, it's not that hard, really, okay? So let's recap real quick. What is the first thing you got to do? You got to get your exposures out. What is the second thing you got to do? You've got to practice, right? You got to practice exposing and getting good at follow-up, right? And then the third thing is you have to help your people get their ROI back, okay? Now, some people are going to work with you and going to make it easy for you, and some people you're going to pull them kicking and screaming and dragging and going on, okay? So last week, when we were talking about this exposure deal, I threw out some information. Joe and I were talking back and forth as we normally do. And I threw out some information that, some people are 1 person a day people, because that mountain is too high. That frog is too froggy. That elephant is too big to eat, whatever. Okay. So if you know that 1 person is going to take you near a panic attack and cause you anxiety, then set your goal at 1 person, right? If you've had some experience and, you're willing to push yourself, then go to that 5. Go to that 5, right? So take it to the next level. Go to that 5. We have a guy in our company. Excuse me, guys. We have a guy in our company, and he leaves the house in the morning when he gets ready to go out, and he takes 25 cards with him. Okay. Bethany, that's in our group room under docs, and it's titled Nice, I believe. I'll make sure you get tagged in that. Okay. So he puts 25 cards in his hand when he walks out the door. Business cards, postcards, whatever tool he's using that day, 25 of them. Okay. He's going to take those 25, and he's not going to allow himself to come home until all 25 are gone. Now, this gentleman that I'm talking about, and I know him personally, this gentleman that I'm talking about, he does not use any type of social media, doesn't use any type of online marketing. He doesn't do any of that stuff. Email, none of it. Okay. What he does is specifically in person, belly to belly, shaking hands, kissing babies, and passing out a piece of information. His preferred method is talking to people, getting to know them, and then he will say, is it all right if I leave you with some information? And they say yes, because he's warmed them up, right? He's shown genuine interest in them and their lives. Okay. So he's going to say, you mind if I leave you with some information? Great. Thank you. Here. And he gives them whatever tool he's using that day, business cards, postcards, flip presentation, whatever it is. Okay. But they're all offline tools. All right. So now he's given them that information, right? Now, I know this little piece of information. When he gives something to you, he's going to get something back in return, right? And he's going to ask that person, can I get your name and number, please? I'll follow up with you in a couple days. Can I get your name and number, please? I'll follow up with you in a couple days. Remember that follow-up we talked about? Now, Terry actually met this gentleman in Houston. I'm not saying his name because I don't have permission to say his name on a live broadcast, and I'm just not that person. I don't do that. But Terry, he was amazing, wasn't he? He made it simple, right? Very simple. So a lot of people say, I can't do it online. I'm scared to do it online. I can't do these lives like you do. I can't send out emails. I can't talk on Messenger. I can't text. Okay, don't do it that way. Do it offline. Okay, do it the old-fashioned way. It still works. He has one of the largest organizations and has always had one of the largest consistent organizations in everything that he's done. And I've worked with him in other companies. So when I say that I've seen this firsthand, I've witnessed it. Okay, I've experienced it. And so, just make sure when you give out that card, get that follow-up step. Okay, name and number. Okay. And now what I want you to do is, and this call is going to turn into basically a training call, and I apologize. I really didn't have anything that I wanted to talk about today. There was nothing in the news that had my attention other than the erupting volcano in Hawaii, and we have some people that we love and care about very, very much out there that we're sending all of the love and light we can to that area, to the whole island and everyone on it. But what I want you to do next is I want you to get your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your kids, your parents, whoever you can talk to, and I want you to practice exchange with people, okay? Act like you don't know them and just practice exchange, okay? And when you practice exchange, you're going to get more and more comfortable with it. And so your words are going to come easier. You're not going to sweat profusely. Okay. You're not going to stutter and stammer, right? You're going to talk as if though you're an intelligent human being, and you're going to be comfortable in your own skin. That's what it's about. Okay. So what does that look like? It looks like this. It looks like getting that person to act like you're, in Walmart, you're, I don't know, at a restaurant somewhere, sitting at the table next door. I don't care what your creativity is for the situation. Just initiate conversations. and get good at asking people about themselves. Okay. People don't care about us until they know how much we care about them. Okay. So telling them all about you and all about your company and all about how great you're doing and all about how much money you're making, they could care less. They could care less until they realize that you care about them. Once you've established that ground and that care, that genuine interest in them, it's game over. And it's not a hit and run process. Like the example that I gave you a little while ago with Whole Foods and the melons. That's a little bit faster of a process because you only have a certain amount of time, right? So you've got to get good at asking those questions. Do you come here often? Do you live close by? Do your kids like the fruit from here? My kid loves fruit, but I can't get him to eat a lot of fruit. So I'm trying to find the tastiest, best, freshest fruit so that he can experience those type of things. Just find something, constantly be looking. Now, back in the day before online marketing, we called that constantly prospecting. Everybody that we saw was a prospect. Okay. What happens when you get really good at prospecting, what happens is you can be anywhere and see a person, and for whatever reason, because there could be 100 people around you, but you zoom in on one person, there's something that catches your eye. There's something that makes a connection, okay? And you'll get really good at being able to hone in on that one person, introduce yourself to that person, and strike up a conversation. You'll get really, really good at it. It's uncomfortable in the beginning. A lot of people see me as a very outgoing person. I am partially as outgoing as I am because I learned very early on in life that one of my best tools was my mouth. I didn't know it, but it took time for me to realize it and learn it. But this was my best tool, okay? Because if I wasn't saying anything to people, they can't read my mind. They don't have a crystal ball, right? So I took some classes, I wouldn't say classes like I went to college. I'd say I took some real world classes, okay? And I got very comfortable putting myself in a position to where I had to talk to people and I had to be the center of attention and I had to carry on an intelligent conversation and I had to be engaging enough that I kept their attention. Yeah. So once I learned how to do that, which took a little while, okay, I had to really understand the psyche of other people. So I read some books. I how to win and influence friends, people. I love that. You have to get in the heads of other people. Really, truly. The park. Dog parks are a great place to meet people. If you've got a dog, the dog does the talking for you because everybody loves the dog. Oh, what a cute little dog. And they want to pet it and they want to love it and blah, 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 blah. They just opened the door for you to talk to them. Sure did. A lot of doors get opened a lot of times and we don't even see them until we get good at looking. Okay. I call it prospecting. It's really just living life and seeing life happen around you, right? And taking advantage of that. So, that's a big thing I wanted to talk about because, I believe that there are great people in the industry, absolutely wonderful people in the industry that could help a lot of people, but they're just struggling. They're struggling with the introduction. They're struggling with how to talk to other people. They're struggling with socialization. They're struggling with what if they say no? They're struggling with what if they don't take my card? What if? Well, what if they do? What if they're that huge networker that has 10,000 people under their belt in another company? That's 100 new teammates at 1%. Come on. So get good at talking to people. Get good at connecting. You know, Joe is out there doing that very thing right now. He is really taken the expose 5 to the next level. I think he'll probably be exposing 10 a day within the next 2 or 3 days, probably. And then I fully expect that he'll go to 25, 50 a day. No problem. But he had to step outside the front door first. And then second, he had to get past that fear of rejection. And then third, he had to kind of figure out what worked for him. Like, there's a groove. What works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. You know, there's a guide that you can go by, and then there's a groove. And once you get a groove, you can walk up to anybody, anywhere, and give them something and get their name and number. Really, seriously. Some people may tell you, you know, my best communication is not my phone. I don't have the opportunity to answer my phone a lot, but you can text me, or I would rather that you email me, right? Like, send me an email. Great, fine, whatever. If you give them something, get something in return, okay? Get their name and a way to contact them. Phone, text, email, whatever their preferred method is, just get it so that you can follow up. Because the first step, the first hard step is introducing, right? That's beautiful, Bethany. A cab driver who made your friend a millionaire. That's beautiful. See? The first thing is getting comfortable talking to people. The second thing that you've got to get over and get past, and it wouldn't seem like a really big deal, is the follow-up. But here's the mindset. Here's what happens when the follow-up comes around, right? Okay, so you've let's say last week you gave out 25 cards, 5 a day for 5 days, okay? So you have 25 people to follow up with this week. 25 people to follow up with this week. That phone gets so heavy. It feels like it weighs 1,000,000 pounds. For real. You pick up the phone and you start dialing a number, and your chest gets tight and you start to breathe and you break out in a sweat, and all of a sudden it's hot. You got to go turn the air conditioning up, you know. Look, I've been there, done that, okay? They can't eat you. Just remember this in your head. They can't eat you. They can't eat you. The worst they could say is no. Remember this. It takes 7 no's to get a yes. 7 no's to get a yes. So every time someone says, no, I'm not interested, or no, thank you, this is not for me, say, thank you, I appreciate it. You just made me that much closer to my yes. Have a great day. It will make you feel better. Now, they won't get it. Okay, they will absolutely not get it. But that's okay, because at that point, it's not about them, it's about you, okay, and your mentality and your being able to bounce back from the no. So, for real, I'm dead serious. Do it. Just try it. Say, thank you. I really appreciate that. You made me that much closer to a yes. Have a great day. Smile and walk off, or hang up the phone, or whatever, right? Because when you learn that it is a numbers game and numbers don't lie, you will realize, okay, is it a perfect system? Is every 8th person going to be a yes? No. Okay, you might talk to 3 people and get 4 yeses after that 3rd person in a row. But if you keep track of your numbers, I will guarantee you that the average person is getting 6 no's to 1 yes. That's the average numbers. Okay? Now, are some people doing better than that? Absolutely. Once they find their groove, once they get really good at what they're doing, they can throw them yeses out like Tic Tacs, okay? Because they know how to connect with people. It's all about the connection. People don't buy products. They don't buy things. They buy us. They buy us, okay? So you have to learn how to be the person that everybody wants to be with. Be the life of the party. Now, that doesn't mean be stupid or, offer kickbacks and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about learning to really genuinely have interest and compassion for other people, right? How can look for a way that whatever it is that you offer can benefit and help this person out of something that they are struggling with. Okay, maybe it's finances, maybe it's education, maybe it's better health, maybe it's time freedom, who knows? But you're looking for that thing, and they'll tell you. If you listen, they will tell you what their struggle is, and then all you're doing is figuring out how what you have to offer can fix their struggle. Once you get really good at fixing other people's problems, it is game over. Game over. So today has been just a big training call, and I apologize. I hope that it was, I don't apologize. Why did I say that? I don't apologize. That's what I was meant to say today. It was laid on my heart. I said what I said. I'm good with it. So, what I would like for people to do is, be able to take this information and better themselves. Be able to take this information and actually go forth and prosper. That's what this is about. That's what these lives are about, okay? So we always do some updates for KGX. And for those that don't know, that's cryptogenics. And so we're in 80 plus countries. We are teetering on the 2,800 people. I'm not sure if we're just over or just under, but we're right around that 2,800 number. We are bringing out some new exciting stuff in the next week or so. One of those things would be mining. Another thing would be an app that's going to communicate with you. What is it going to communicate? Well, it's going to communicate things that will help you make better decisions in the crypto industry. Okay. So, if you stay plugged in, if you stay tuned into that app will guide and help you along the way. And that's a beautiful thing. Also, we are looking at a launch date. We're looking at a launch date of late August, early September to launch to the world. And that would be a real launch. Understand, ladies and gentlemen, that we are in a soft launch. And the whole point and purpose behind a soft launch is to get everything up and running, to make it pretty, to make sure everything works correctly, to make sure none of the links are broken or the system can't handle the traffic or whatever the case may be. We try to break the system so that when we launch, everything is fixed. So that will be fantastic. The thing about being in the know is it comes with great responsibility. Okay. So we talked about being good stewards before, and good stewardship doesn't just cover finances. Good stewardship covers lots and lots and lots of things. And a lot of those things are paying it forward, sharing of information. I'll give you a perfect example. One of my business partners recently went to a lecture. Hang on one second. The lecture was actually being given by Andreas Antonopoulos, and he took notes. Now, he paid for his ticket to go to this and to be part of this particular event, right? But what he did was he took his notes, and then he went home, he cleaned them up, and he said, I want to share this with my cryptogenics family. I want to share what I learned and what was talked about by Andreas with all of you. And I asked nothing in return. That's good stewardship. Okay. Now, he didn't say, if you give me $2, I'll give you a copy of the notes, to help cover the expense for the event or whatever. He said, I'm going to give you this freely, willingly, because I love the people that you are. You're my family, and I want to help you. That's good stewardship, okay? So, okay, let's talk about your good stewardship, all right? Maybe you're not going to events, but you're coming to these lives. You probably take notes, right? You learn things. Are you sharing what you learn with your people, with your team? Are you? You know, it's important. It really is. When we learn something of value, if we keep it to ourselves, it never grows. Okay? It only grows by giving it to others. Yeah. It only grows by giving it to others. So, you know, it's been a really good live today. I feel great about it. I miss Joe. I really miss Joe. These are a little bit shorter when it's not Joe and I, because we banter back and forth a lot. But in that banter, there's so many good gold nuggets that it's awesome. But when we do these, you know, by ourselves, they tend to be a little bit faster. I am going to work on figuring out what is wrong with Zoom and Facebook as to why this is not working. And I will get that figured out, hopefully, and we won't have any more problems. Tomorrow, if it's an issue tomorrow, we will use the live like we're using it right now. Joe and I will just use the live until we get it figured out. There has to be some intel on it somewhere, and it's just a matter of looking it up and getting it taken care of. Tonight, Joe and I do a presentation at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Cryptogenics. We will also do one tomorrow. That's Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will also be stepping in and doing a special presentation on Wednesday to cover one of my co-partners who is going to be traveling, and he asked if we would actually do his presentation on Wednesday at 3 p.m. as well. Now, there's one on Thursday at 3 p.m., and then you've got them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Brandon Ivy, myself, and Joe, Matt Sheriff, and Stephen McCullough are your presenters. And, you know, I believe that we should all jump on all of these just to get different perspectives and to hear things differently. Sometimes hearing things differently give you a different outlook on it, or help you to understand something that you're just missing from someone else. And I incorporate things from other people's presentations into my own as well. So I look forward to seeing everybody. Hopefully you guys can get on. The presentations will be at kgxglobal.info. That's kgxglobal.info. If you type in the .com, it will automatically redirect you there as well. So that's where all the presentations will be at all the different times and all the different presenters. So if you guys wouldn't mind, jump on those and get all your questions answered. If you've got friends that are interested in crypto, I would definitely recommend that you funnel them into those presentations. A lot of their questions can be answered right there. Makes it a whole lot easier on you all. Let us do the heavy lifting for you. So again, thanks everybody. I appreciate all of the time that you guys give us. The time out of your day, also the time on the replays. It's awesome to see you guys show up. It's awesome to read all the comments and get all the notes and stuff that we get afterwards personally. And, you know, if there's anything you want us to talk about, just let us know. We'll be glad to address it. If we don't know how to handle that particular thing that you want to talk about, we'll research it. We'll figure it out. We'll learn together. We'll find somebody, excuse me, we'll find somebody who can answer or who can deliver an educated answer for that, and we'll get them on as a guest. You know, that's what we do. We want to deliver information. So thanks, everybody. We love y'all, and we'll see you tomorrow. If you guys can, don't forget to meet us tonight at 9 p.m. at kgxglobal.info. Thanks, everybody. We love y'all.